You're in the middle of an interaction with someone, maybe a man you're close to, or perhaps someone you're just beginning to know. The conversation feels charged, tense, or confusing. You're waiting for him to show you his true feelings, but everything feels a little out of reach. He's distant, guarded, or just not showing the depth of his emotions you might be hoping for. What if I told you that the key to unlocking his true feelings doesn't lie in forcing the conversation or trying to predict what he might say next? What if the key is actually in stepping back and giving space for his energy to reveal itself? The truth is, most of the time, when we push, we only reinforce a pattern of resistance. We try to address reality matter to matter, expecting results from external factors, while neglecting the internal shifts that must occur first. The power of stepping back is transformative. When you stop chasing, stop trying to force things into being, you allow his energy to shift naturally, revealing his true feelings in a way that's profound and authentic. In this video, we'll explore how stepping back isn't about disengaging, it's about changing the way you interact with the energy around you, and in turn, creating a space for his feelings to emerge. The neuroscience, quantum principles, and meditative practices that can help you unlock this powerful approach. At the core of understanding the principle of stepping back and allowing energy to unfold naturally is the concept of energy itself. When we delve deeper into this idea, we begin to see how everything in our lives is rooted in energy. From the thoughts that form in our minds, to the emotions that course through our bodies, to even the objects that populate our environment, all of it is energy in constant motion. Each of these elements carries an energetic frequency, a vibrational signature that plays a significant role in shaping our reality. This foundational understanding of energy is where the magic begins, and it's through this lens that we can start to understand what happens when we step back and cease the constant push for control. When we think of energy, we might picture a physical force like electricity or magnetism, but energy extends far beyond the physical. It permeates every aspect of our lives. The subtle vibration of your thoughts influences the emotions you feel in your body. The emotions you experience then ripple out into your environment, shaping your interactions with the people around you. The physical space you inhabit carries an energetic imprint, one that reflects your thoughts, feelings, and actions. What you think and how you feel create the energetic field you exist within. And it is within this dynamic flow of energy that you have the power to affect change, provided you understand how to harness it. The true magic lies in understanding that when you interact with others, you're not merely exchanging words or actions. You're exchanging energy. Every conversation, every gesture, every moment spent in someone's presence is a dance of energy, whether you realize it or not. This realization shifts the way you perceive relationships, making you aware of the invisible forces at play beneath the surface. Now, the key question arises: what happens when you consciously step back from this energetic exchange? What happens when you release your grip on the need to control and allow space for the energy to settle and come into alignment? The answer is profound. You're opening the door for transformation. By stepping back, you stop engaging in the predictable cycle of reaction and response. You break free from the patterns of control, manipulation, and force that typically dominate interactions. Instead, you create space for a more expansive, invisible field to take over, the quantum field, which connects everything in our reality. The quantum field, often referred to as the immaterial realm, is an invisible web of energy that unites all of existence. It is the backdrop of the material world we experience and yet remains undetectable to our senses. In the quantum field, the boundaries between time, space, and matter blur. It is a realm where everything is interconnected and all possibilities exist simultaneously. By stepping back and ceasing to control the flow of energy in your interactions, you align with this field, allowing its infinite potential to work through you. When you cease forcing outcomes and allow space for this energetic exchange to occur freely, the process of creation shifts dramatically. No longer are you trying to mold the energy around you to fit a specific pattern or outcome. Instead, you begin to co-create with the quantum field. You become a participant in the flow of energy, not the one trying to control it. The more you let go of the need to steer the energy toward a particular result, the more naturally things unfold in ways you could never have predicted. In other words, stepping back isn't about disengaging or withdrawing. It's about tapping into a deeper, more profound way of engaging with life. This is not an easy practice. We are conditioned from the moment we enter the world to think that success, progress, and achievement come from effort, action, and control. The narrative we've been taught is that we must always be pushing forward, striving, and hustling to get what we want. This mindset, deeply ingrained in our society, reflects a survival-based paradigm that reinforces the belief that nothing happens without struggle. When we operate from this survival mindset, we are often addicted to stress, competition, and the adrenaline rush that accompanies our constant striving. It's what drives us to move faster, to push harder, and to do more in an attempt to shape our reality. This addiction to action can become so ingrained that we fail to realize how it traps us in a cycle of stress and frustration. We constantly chase after the future, trying to control every aspect of our lives, all while neglecting the present moment. We have become so focused on the idea of controlling outcomes that we forget to trust the process. The irony here is that the more we rush and force things, the more we feed into the very stress that makes us feel stuck. This constant striving can often feel like running on a hamster wheel. No matter how much effort we put in, we never seem to get anywhere. However, the quantum world operates differently. In this realm, the law of least effort is at play. When you step back, when you stop rushing, and when you let go of the need to control every aspect of your reality, you access a greater potential. In essence, you become pure consciousness, transcending the limitations of time and space. When you cease identifying with your body, your environment, and the constraints of your material existence, you begin to tap into a different way of being. Instead of being caught in the rush of survival, you access a state of flow and alignment with the greater energy of the universe. This process of letting go, of releasing your attachment to the material world and embracing your true nature as pure consciousness, can be likened to entering a new realm of possibility. It's as if you shift from being a participant in a material, time-bound world to a being of infinite potential, existing beyond the confines of physical reality. This shift is not about detachment or withdrawal. Rather, it's about returning to your natural state of being, one that is unencumbered by external pressures and societal conditioning. To truly embody this shift, you must first understand that your thoughts and emotions create your state of being. How you think and how you feel directly influence the energetic field that you emit. Every thought you have generates an energetic frequency, and each emotion you experience carries a specific vibration. When you are caught up in the cycle of control and survival, your thoughts and emotions are often chaotic, reactive, and disconnected from the present moment. This creates a disconnect between your energy and the energy around you. But when you step back, when you consciously pause and align yourself with the present moment, your energy becomes more focused and intentional. You shift from a state of reaction to one of creation. The moment you begin to align your thoughts, emotions, and energy with the present, you step into the quantum field, a space where all possibilities are available to you. This is where the true magic happens. You no longer need to chase after what you want because you've already become a vibrational match for it. This doesn't mean that you're no longer taking action. Rather, you're taking inspired action that is guided by the energy of the present moment, rather than by the frantic need to control. When you let go of the need to force outcomes, you open yourself up to receive the natural flow of energy that exists within the quantum field. This is where things start to happen effortlessly. The right opportunities, the right people, and the right experiences come to you with ease, because you've created the energetic conditions for them to appear. In practical terms, stepping back might look like pausing in the midst of an emotional reaction, taking a deep breath, and allowing yourself to process the energy without reacting impulsively. It might mean taking a moment to center yourself before entering a situation that you feel the need to control. It might involve releasing the pressure to make things happen and instead allowing the space for things to unfold in their own time. This approach requires a deep trust in the process of life. It's about surrendering the need to know everything, to control every detail, and to dictate the outcome. It's about aligning yourself with the natural flow of energy and trusting that the universe will bring what you need when you're ready to receive it. As you practice stepping back, you'll begin to notice subtle shifts in your interactions with others. When you stop forcing, you'll start to see a change in the energy around you. People will respond differently. Conversations will flow more easily. Relationships will become more aligned. This is because by stepping back, you've created the space for others to show up authentically. You've stopped imposing your energy onto the situation, allowing the natural rhythm of energy to unfold in its own time. When we talk about stepping back, it's essential to recognize that it's not just a matter of physical distance. It's a matter of emotional distance. While taking a break from a conversation or situation might seem like the obvious solution, the true transformation occurs when we let go of the emotional baggage we carry. This is where the deepest and most lasting shifts happen, both within ourselves and in our relationships with others. Many of us walk through life carrying a heavy emotional load from the past. It's as though we are constantly tethered to past experiences, past hurts, past joys, past failures, and past successes, and we don't even realize how this emotional weight shapes our present moment. It's as if we are constantly wearing a pair of glasses tinted by the colors of yesterday. We react to situations, people, and even opportunities through the lens of these past emotions. But here's the problem: when we hold onto past emotions, we're not truly present in the moment. Our thoughts, reactions, and behaviors are influenced by a history that no longer serves us. We become trapped in a loop of emotional reactivity, often repeating patterns that no longer align with our true desires or the authentic energy we wish to experience. The power of emotional alignment comes when we learn how to release this emotional baggage and step into the present. Emotional alignment is about unburdening ourselves from the past so that we can fully embrace the now. It's about disentangling ourselves from the energetic residue left behind by previous experiences, relationships, and identities. It's about creating a space in our minds, hearts, and energy fields that is free from the weight of old emotions, and in doing so, creating a new opportunity for growth and transformation. Imagine carrying a backpack filled with emotional rocks, each one representing a past hurt, a past disappointment, or a past failure. Over time, that backpack gets heavier and heavier. You may not even notice it because it becomes a part of you. It's only when you stop for a moment and assess the weight you're carrying that you realize just how burdensome it is. You may even have gotten used to carrying that weight, thinking it's simply part of your reality. But in truth, it's a constant drain on your energy, limiting your ability to fully experience the richness of the present moment. This emotional attachment to the past often manifests in our relationships, especially in how we interact with others. The way we perceive people's actions, words, or even silence is often influenced by our past experiences. For instance, if we've been hurt in a previous relationship, we might project that old pain onto someone new, even if they have done nothing to warrant it. This emotional projection creates a barrier to true connection and understanding, because we're not seeing the other person for who they truly are in the present moment. We're seeing them through the lens of past emotions and reactions. The key to releasing this attachment is the recognition that your past does not define you. You are not your past pain, nor are you your past successes. Those experiences are part of your story, but they do not have to dictate your current reality. By releasing the emotional attachment to the past, you create an opportunity to experience life more fully in the present, free from the constraints of what was. This process isn't an instantaneous one, and it's not always easy. The past can be incredibly sticky, and our brains are wired to remember emotional experiences, particularly those that were traumatic or impactful. This is because our brains are designed to protect us from future harm. However, clinging to the past, even for the sake of protection, can keep us from experiencing new possibilities. The key is to gently, yet firmly, allow ourselves to release the grip of the past and embrace the unknown, which is where true transformation begins. To understand the importance of releasing past emotional baggage, it's helpful to look at emotions through the lens of energy. Emotions are energy in motion. Every emotion you feel creates a corresponding energetic vibration, which in turn influences your state of being. Positive emotions like love, joy, and gratitude resonate at higher frequencies, while negative emotions like anger, fear, and resentment resonate at lower frequencies. These emotional vibrations are not isolated, they are in constant interaction with the energy around you. This creates a feedback loop where your internal emotional state influences the energy you attract, and the energy you attract influences your emotional state. When you are holding on to old emotions, whether it's unresolved anger, lingering sadness, or even nostalgia, you are carrying those frequencies with you. These emotions become like energetic imprints that remain in your field, affecting every interaction you have. If you're carrying the weight of the past, you're likely attracting more of the same energy into your life. This creates a cycle where you are continuously reacting to the same emotional triggers, reinforcing patterns that keep you stuck in the past. But when you consciously choose to release those old emotions, you create space for new energy to flow through you. You begin to align with higher frequencies, and in doing so, you become more open to receiving and experiencing positive energy. This is where the power of emotional alignment lies. It's not about ignoring or suppressing your emotions. It's about acknowledging them, releasing them, and then creating the energetic conditions for something new to emerge. In relationships, this shift is particularly powerful. When you let go of past emotional attachments, you clear the space for true connection. This is essential if you want to experience authenticity in your relationships. When you release the need to hold on to past hurts or expectations, you can approach interactions with a sense of openness and receptivity. Instead of reacting from a place of past pain, you respond from a place of presence and clarity. This not only deepens your connection with others but also allows you to attract more aligned, authentic energy into your life. Once you've created space by releasing old emotions, you begin to step into a state of emotional alignment. But how do you attract the energy you desire, whether it's in relationships, opportunities, or life experiences? It begins with understanding how energy works on a quantum level. In the quantum realm, everything is interconnected. Your thoughts, emotions, and intentions create a vibrational frequency that interacts with the energy around you. When you focus your attention and intention on creating a specific outcome or attracting a particular energy, you align your frequency with that desired experience. This is the foundation of quantum creation. Let's take a closer look at how this works. When you want to attract something into your life, whether it's a new opportunity, a deep connection with someone, or the ability to express yourself authentically, you first need to align your inner state with that energy. This is where emotional alignment becomes crucial. If you want to attract authenticity, you need to feel authentic within yourself. If you want to attract love, you must first cultivate love within yourself. When your internal state matches the frequency of your desires, you create a powerful energetic resonance that draws those desires to you. This is why it's so important to release past emotional baggage. When you're still holding on to negative emotions from the past, you're likely vibrating at a lower frequency, which means you're more likely to attract experiences and people that reflect that energy. But when you clear your emotional field and align your energy with your desires, you begin to attract experiences that resonate with your higher self. By focusing your attention away from the material world and into the energetic realm, you begin to cultivate the frequency of your desires. This isn't about forcing things to happen. It's about allowing them to unfold naturally as a result of the energetic alignment you've created. When you stop chasing and let go of the need to control, you allow space for the quantum field to bring the energy you need to you. This is where true power lies, in trusting the process and allowing life to unfold in alignment with your highest good. The shift toward emotional alignment is not just a spiritual or philosophical concept. It's also supported by science. Neuroscience tells us that our thoughts and emotions are not merely abstract concepts. They have a profound effect on our brain and body. When we change our emotional state, we actually change the neurochemical and neurological processes that govern our experience of reality. Research has shown that when we experience emotions, our brain releases specific chemicals that correspond to those emotions. For example, feelings of joy and gratitude trigger the release of dopamine and serotonin, which promote a sense of well-being. On the other hand, negative emotions like stress or fear trigger the release of cortisol, a hormone that prepares the body for a fight-or-flight response. When we experience chronic stress, we continuously flood our system with cortisol, which can lead to physical and emotional burnout. By consciously choosing to release old emotional baggage and align with more positive emotions, we begin to change the chemical landscape of our brain. This, in turn, influences our behavior, our interactions with others, and the way we experience the world. Neuroscientific studies have shown that when we align our thoughts and emotions with a positive, higher frequency, we are more likely to experience improved mental clarity, emotional resilience, and a sense of well-being. Furthermore, emotional alignment is key to creating the kind of relationships we desire. When you are emotionally aligned with your true self, you are able to connect with others from a place of authenticity, vulnerability, and openness. This allows you to attract relationships that are based on mutual respect, understanding, and trust. By releasing the emotional baggage of the past and aligning with the present moment, you create the space for deeper, more meaningful connections to blossom. Now, trust is key. One of the hardest things for most of us to do is let go of control. We've been taught from an early age that we must work hard to get what we want, that we must hustle, strategize, and push in order to achieve. We are conditioned to believe that the more effort we exert, the faster we will reach our desired outcome. Yet, when we examine how energy truly operates, we realize that control is an illusion, one that often keeps us stuck in cycles of resistance rather than allowing life to unfold naturally. When you step into the energy of trust, you break free from this old paradigm. You stop trying to manipulate or predict how things will play out, and instead, you allow them to flow. But here's the paradox. True trust requires a level of surrender that most people are uncomfortable with. It asks you to release attachment to certainty, to let go of needing to know exactly what's going to happen, and to instead open yourself up to the unknown. This shift is not easy. It challenges everything we've been taught about achievement, success, and even relationships. But once you begin to practice it, you'll find that things start aligning in ways you never could have anticipated. To understand why control often backfires, we must first look at why we cling to it in the first place. Control is rooted in fear. When we feel uncertain or insecure about an outcome, we instinctively try to control external circumstances to create a sense of stability. We think that if we can just manage every detail, if we can anticipate every reaction, influence every conversation, or dictate the way things unfold, then we can ensure our desired result. But this is an illusion. The reality is that the more we try to control, the more resistance we create. Think about it. When someone feels pressured, they often pull away. When you try to force a conversation, the words don't flow naturally. When you demand an outcome, you end up pushing it further away. This is especially true in relationships. The moment we try to control another person's emotions, reactions, or decisions, we enter a cycle of resistance. Instead of fostering genuine connection, we unknowingly create an energetic barrier that prevents real alignment. So, what happens when we let go? When you release control, you step into a different energetic state, one of trust, ease, and receptivity. This shift changes everything. Here's why. People can sense when they are being controlled or pressured. It triggers a subconscious resistance, making them instinctively want to pull away. On the other hand, when you embody trust and emotional stability, you create an environment where they feel safe to be themselves. This sense of ease allows their true emotions to emerge naturally, without force or obligation. When you stop gripping so tightly to an outcome, you step into a state of flow, where things begin to unfold effortlessly. This is because your energy is no longer focused on tension and resistance but on openness and alignment. Instead of pushing against the current, you allow the current to carry you toward what is meant for you. Controlling everything is exhausting. It keeps you in a state of hypervigilance, where your mind is constantly analyzing, strategizing, and predicting. When you step back and trust, you reclaim your mental and emotional energy. You become more present, more at peace, and more receptive to the natural unfolding of events. This shift isn't just philosophical. It has a profound impact on your brain and body. When you are in a state of control, your brain operates primarily from the survival mind, the part of you that is hyper-focused on problem-solving, predicting, and ensuring safety. This activates stress-related chemicals like cortisol and adrenaline, keeping your body in a heightened state of tension. Over time, this not only drains your energy but also clouds your perception, making it harder to see things clearly. However, when you shift into a state of trust, your brain begins to rewire itself. Studies in neuroscience show that when you embrace states of relaxation, mindfulness, and surrender, your brain releases dopamine and serotonin, chemicals associated with well-being, creativity, and open-mindedness. This shift allows you to engage with life from a place of inner balance rather than external force. Even more fascinating, researchers have found that when you trust the process, your brain creates new neural pathways that make it easier to detach from old, fear-based patterns. This means that over time, trust becomes a natural state rather than a forced effort. Now, you may be wondering, how do I actually let go and trust when everything in me wants to control the outcome? Here are some powerful, practical steps to help you shift. Instead of focusing on when or how things will unfold, shift your focus to how you feel in the present moment. Are you acting from trust or from fear? Remind yourself that the best outcomes often emerge when you least expect them. Start replacing thoughts like, "I need to control this situation," with thoughts like, "I trust that what is meant for me will come in its own time." Create affirmations that reinforce the idea that letting go leads to better results. Instead of trying to force someone to feel a certain way, focus on the energy you bring into the interaction. When you are calm, present, and aligned, you naturally influence the energy of those around you. Meditation, breath work, and mindfulness exercises are powerful tools to shift your state from control to trust. Journaling about your fears and then consciously releasing them can also help reinforce the habit of letting go.